We going to the timeout and everybody talking. I was like, Coach, I want to guard MJ. Like, I got to guard MJ. There's only one player that's getting this basketball, and that's MJ. He's like, we're going to put Craig Ehlo on it. I'm like, and he jumped up, and Ehlo jumps up, Ehlo stops, and MJ does this to Ehlo. Ehlo comes down, and he shoots it, and it was slow motion. It was like, he's the guy that you want the ball in his hand late in the ball game, because he's gonna win most of those ball games by himself.
Yeah, that's the Santa Claus one. That's the one I got.
All right, Coach, Cleveland leads, Chicago inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs trying to deny Jordan the ball. With the steal!
Goodness, the Bulls throw it.
I done fucked it up. I done failed the damn, I done failed the Jordan challenge before it even started. That's crazy.
All right, Coach, Cleveland leads, Chicago inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs trying to deny Jordan the ball. With the steal!
Goodness, the Bulls throw it.
I guess you got a spam X. Thought you had to press it. Let me see.
All right, Coach, Cleveland leads, Chicago inbound. What can the Cavaliers do?
The Cavs trying to deny Jordan the ball. They actually 2-on-1 him without the ball. Ehlo trying to catch back up. The shot's up. It's good!
Oh
Michael Jordan!
Wow, Coach, a Game 5 winning shot. Doug Collins off the bench, and the Bulls have won.
You can never, ever count Michael Jordan out.
Damn, that was easy. That was a quick challenge. That was easy. Outscored Dominique Wilkins, score 40 points, hold Dominique Wilkins to under 20 points. Damn.
Good luck.
Michael was a different level, man. He's a different level of competitiveness, just sheer will to win. He changed the game. He changed the game. I mean, not just in one aspect, in many aspects. Every aspect of the game, he changed it. I played against the greatest players in the history of this game. Michael Jordan was one of those guys that lifted my ability to the next level. We enjoyed the competition with one another. We played very hard and fiercely against one another, but it was like you had two gentlemen going head to head. Michael Jordan and I wasn't just coming down the court and getting dunks at the dunks. We found creative ways to score. I can't tell you the fun and the pleasure I had to play against him. You know, and Michael and I, we never really talked about those games. It was kind of an unspoken thing between us. You know, the respect level that we had was at a different level. I think I had a great game in Atlanta, and I remember going to Chicago. Michael walks into our locker room, and we're still in suit and tie. We haven't gotten dressed yet, and he walks in our locker room, suit and tie, and I was like, what are you doing coming in our locker room? And I ain't gonna say exactly what I said. And so he walked by me, he walked by Kevin Willis, and he got to Randy Whitman, he tapped him on his butt and he said, lace him up, it's gonna be a long night. He got 60 that night. He got 60. And it was a very close game. I think it went down to the last shot in that game, but I think he proved his point.
And a beautiful view of stunning Chicago. Close by Chicago Stadium for a much anticipated matchup today. Welcome, everyone, to Chicago. This is Kevin Harlan along with me, Clark Kellogg. We've got David Aldridge joining us from the sidelines as we get set to watch the Atlanta Hawks go up against the Chicago Bulls. Clark, this should be a beauty.
You know, each of these teams, Kevin, has a guy who is in the running for the league lead in scoring. I'm, of course, talking about two guys that don't need introduction, Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. Going to be a lot of fun watching these guys try to one-up each other offensively.
And Clark, beyond just Jordan and Wilkins, plenty of other talented scorers on each of these teams as well.
Kevin, you make a very good point. I mean, these are two impressive high-octane lineups, which I think could result in this score really getting run up in a hurry.
This should be one to remember. And out there for Atlanta, Spud Webb at the point with Doc Rivers at the 2. At the forward positions, Dominique Wilkins and Moses Malone. John Koncak will be at center. And starting things off for the Bulls, it's John Paxson at point guard with Michael Jordan also at the guard. Then Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant at the 3 and... ...4, the veteran Bill Cartwright in the middle.
Expectations are high for Jordan and Wilkins in this one. They're both exceptional scoring threats, and I know their teams are expecting each of them to be the difference makers out there as they try to get the W. Be somebody that's really comfortable carrying the offensive load.
Now Webb. There's the pass to Wilkins. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Grant against Malone. Over Grant. Malone, good.
Boy, his length, his persistence, his size. Moses was custom made to own the glass. Great offensive play right there.
Jordan shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. You know, often, Clark, it's the team's respective leader who sets the tone for their whole squad.
You are correct, partner. So if Jordan or Wilkins can manage to get off to a hot start, that could spread to the other guys and get their whole team rolling early.
That's a good point. Now, here is Webb. Now, here's Wilkins. Oh, and the dunk by Wilkins.
I'll tell you what, the fans are not feeling that at all, but there is no denying that Dominique Wilkins is a terrific dunker.
Now the Bulls with it. You know, Clark, in some ways, this game...
Oh, man!
With the Hawks here in his building, you can see the way Michael Jordan is approaching every possession, looking to make an impact. Webb with it. Pass to Wilkins. Over Jordan. That one doesn't drop. And the Bulls going the other way now. About a minute and a half through the first quarter.
The signature airtime of the one and only Michael Jordan going upstairs for the dunk.
And so it's Wilkins who brings up the ball for the Hawks. 4-point game. Here's Malone, and then Malone with the dunk. Something that could be a difference maker in this one is Moses Malone's dominance on the glass.
I agree. I mean, Chicago is going to have to fight extremely hard to beat Malone to rebounds. He's relentless in pursuing them, especially offensive boards. But limiting the Hawks' second chance points, I think, is essential for this Bulls team.
Good observation. Obviously, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Clark, both apply great defensive pressure. You know, but the Hawks have some fast hands and some nice defensive skills of their own.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. I mean, you think about Doc Rivers. If the Bulls aren't careful around Rivers, he could create a lot of havoc and force a bunch of turnovers. And in a contest between two very high-scoring teams, we know every possession counts.
Yeah, Rivers is like a coach on the floor.
He really is.
The two scoring leaders facing off. But to dig deeper, let's go to a guy who can dig as deep as any, David Aldridge. D.A.
Thanks, guys. We know that Dominique and Jordan's scoring will probably be the big story of the night. but there's a lot more to these guys' games that could affect the outcome. With Wilkins, we've seen a new focus from him on improving his rebounding. And as always, Jordan's defense can be just as impactful as his offense. Guys, back to you.
You know, David, that's an interesting point. I think you're right. It's not just Clark about scoring tonight. It's got to be a multifaceted game. Wouldn't you agree?
I certainly would, Kevin. Limiting your opponent's touches and disrupting their shot attempts and their offensive flow, I think could be the real name of the game in this one. You just can't get it done with offense alone.
I know Jordan takes pride in his defense. We'll see if that's true tonight.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on that.
The #1 objective, Clark, of this Bulls defense has to be limiting Dominique Wilkins' looks. They've got to contain that incredible scoring of his.
Kevin, you're all over it. Right on point. I mean, if Chicago can't disrupt his usual scoring, then they're in for a long night and some real trouble. Hey, sometimes you just got to take a foul. That's the best way to protect the basket.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. Rivers hits both of them. Chicago leading by 3. Here's Jordan.
You can always count on Jordan to crank it up a little bit here at home and give these Bulls fans a game worth watching.
Now, here is Webb. No points in the game yet for him. No problems knocking that one down.
You know, if Webb finds an opening in the mid-range, he'll take it. The defense has got to keep him marked at all times.
Jordan drives in. That one falls, coming off of Paxson's feed. Credit to these Hawks, Clark, for having a constant postseason presence these last few seasons.
3 straight second-round appearances, and then last year a tough loss in the first round. But I say don't let that fool you. These Hawks are a very competitive team.
They really are. And the Hawks making a change here. Willis is checked in. On defense, Chicago, leading by 5. Rivers scanning the floor. Willis with a screen on Pippen. 6 on the shot clock. Rivers can't get it to go.
That's exactly the look they wanted, guys. Right guy, right play, wrong result. Even for good shooters like him, that's still a bit deep.
For 3, Wilkins tips it. Bulls leading by 5. Pass to Pippen. Poked away, stolen by Rivers. And he lobs it up toward the rim, and Wilkins slams it in. Wilkins and Jordan, a couple of talented one-on-one players who are both going to be seeking mismatches in this one.
And you know, Kevin, if you're on either of these teams, you've got to be ready to come at Jordan and Wilkins. Defensively, don't let them dictate things. Low effort defense, not going to get it done because they'll take advantage of that fully.
Oof, took him no time at all on that one. Webb's got his second basket. And here are the Bulls now. It's a 3-point game. Grant the pass to Paxson. For 3, Pippen. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Carr, he's checked in for Atlanta. Tony comes in for Webb. The Hawks trail by 3. And here's Rivers. Pass to Tony. Feeds it to Wilkins. Willis up top. Another shot. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Boy, tremendous vision from Rivers there. You see why he racks up so many assists.
A deep 3 from Jordan. The long distance 3 is Barrett. Jordan's got a couple of threes now in the first for Chicago. Some fresh competition, Clark, for the Bulls and Hawks in the league this year, with 2 expansion teams coming to the NBA in Orlando and Minnesota.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, these teams are focused on the game at hand. That's pretty obvious, but this is a very interesting time for the NBA. A lot of new talent and a new landscape.
A lot of growing indeed.
Oh, the human highlight reel. Add another one to his package.
Pippen can't hit. The Hawks trailing. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And there's the call on Michael Jordan. That's his first foul. Here's Wilkins. 9 points in the game so far. And there's the pass to Willis. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And it's Willis finishing it off.
Powerful throw down there. No resistance from the defense.
Clarkie got all the room he needed. That's a jam this crowd will remember for a long time. Rivers gets a wide open look. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Michael Jordan making things happen.
23.
Welcome back, everyone, to Chicago as the second quarter gets underway. It's been an exciting game so far between the hometown Chicago Bulls and the visiting Atlanta Hawks.
For the Bulls, they've got a new coach at the helm this season. With Phil Jackson, this is his first stint as a head coach here in the NBA.
So with Jordan on the bench, this is Phil Jackson's lineup. B.J. Armstrong is out there with Hodges. Then it's Ed Neely. Then it's King. And it's Purdue in at the 5 spot.
Well, an excellent mid-range shooter for a guy of his size. Willis can face you up now.
Jackson, of course, a former player, a former assistant under Doug Collins in Chicago. And Clark, I hear he's got some interesting ideas when it comes to on-court strategy.
Well, Kevin, you know, he's certainly got some good pieces to test those ideas out with. There's no denying that. But what I think matters most is that the guys seem to relate to him and like him. Chemistry between players and head coaches is critical.
Well, you know, you played a long time, and you know how important that connection can be.
That's a very key deal.
Well, looking back at the opening quarter, Clark, Jordan managed to stay ahead of Wilkins in points scored.
Yeah, really good start for him, Kevin, in that regard, but can he keep doing that the entire game?
Right. Atlanta leading by 4. Passes it to Carr. Wilkins against Hodges. Wilkins passes to Willis. The shot's good on the assist from Wilkins. Willis has got 8 points.
With the rock inside, hey, Willis has one thing on his mind. Let's go to work.
And the Bulls decide to take their first time out here. A new lineup here for the Bulls. Malone's checked in for Atlanta. Webb comes in for Tony. And 3 from Jordan. Webb pulls it in.
And, you know, that shot was challenged, but even so, I'm always surprised whenever he misses.
Malone. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the layup. Malone's got the lead up to 8 now for the Hawks.
Malone owns the paint area of the floor. Nobody coming in there messing with him.
And the Bulls with another miss.
Even with every shot clanging off the rim, he seems determined to keep hoisting up these 3. It might be time to get inside of that arc.
Now, here's Wilkins. They lead by 8. It's the biggest of the game.
The Hawks and the Bulls, when you look at the measurables of teams and players, pretty standard for the league. With explosively athletic backcourts and then quite a bit of size down low, too. Pretty artful dribbling display by Jordan there, and it completely baffled the defender.
It's Wilkins on the wing. Wilkins draws the double. Webb against Paxson. That one doesn't go. Stolen by Webb. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. And Grant sends it back.
One of the better defenders in this game. Grant teeing off on that one.
Livingston's checked in for the Hawks.
Cliff Livingston.
That'll be a 5-second call. Like we were talking about size, both of these teams start a 7-footer at center.
Yeah, you know, Koncak and Cartwright are very imposing at that position, Kevin. And then you get Grant and Malone are paired evenly at 6'10". So, hey, there's no way this game is not going to be physical in the paint.
That'll be a battle for sure. So far, Michael Jordan has been getting just about everything he wants on the offensive end.
And that's not unexpected, but, you know, that doesn't bode well for the Hawks as Wilkins has been unable to answer Jordan with shots of his own, which I think says a lot about the job the Chicago defense is doing.
I agree. Right now, Dominique doesn't seem to be having much issue, Clark, working around the Bulls' defense.
And that doesn't bode well for Chicago. I think they've got to get a better handle on him, Kevin. They've got to corral him. If Dominique is just getting whatever...
Yeah, we got to restart, bro. Damn.
Expectations are high for Jordan and Wilkins in this one. They're both exceptional scoring threats, and I know their teams are expecting each of them to be the difference makers out there as they try to get the W.
And out there for Atlanta, Spud Webb at the point with Doc Rivers at the 2. At the forward positions, Dominique Wilkins and Moses Malone. John Koncak will be at center. And starting things off for the Bulls, it's John Paxson at point guard with Michael Jordan also at the guard. Then Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant at the 3 and 4. The veteran, Bill Cartwright in the middle.
You know, there's so
I'm going to take the filter.
much that's amazing to me about Jordan, but his endurance stands out. He consistently gets stronger, it seems, as the game goes on.
Now, here is Webb. Here's Malone. Score of the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt. You know, often, Clark, it's the team's respective leader who sets the tone for their whole squad.
You are correct, partner. So if Jordan or Wilkins can manage to get off to a hot start, that could spread to the other guys and get their whole team rolling early.
That's a good point. That one good for 2.
Webb won't let his size deter him, nor should it fool you. This guy is a tremendous athlete, as he showed you on the drive right there.
Jordan's shot is off. The #1 objective, Clark, of this Bulls defense has to be limiting Dominique Wilkins' looks. They've got to contain that incredible scoring of his.
Kevin, you're all over it. Right on point. I mean, if Chicago can't disrupt his usual scoring, then they're in for a long night and some real trouble.
The Hawks with a quick start to this game. Rivers surveying the D. Passes it to Koncak. Wants to get it to Malone and does. That's basket #2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3. Something that could be a difference maker in this one is Moses Malone's dominance on the glass.
I agree. I mean, Chicago is going to have to fight extremely hard to beat Malone to rebounds. He's relentless in pursuing them, especially offensive boards. But limiting the Hawks' second chance points, I think, is essential for this Bulls team.
Good observation. So it's the Hawks now. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago, Wilkins. A second chance effort, and Malone puts it in. Malone's got 6 points.
Oh, his length, his persistence, his size. Moses was custom made to own the glass. Great offensive play right there.
And a wide open look for Jordan. Jordan can't get that one to fall. Here's the Hawks with the ball. Big stretch here going 10-2. The 2 scoring leaders facing off. But to dig deeper, let's go to a guy who can dig as deep as any, David Aldridge. D.A.
Thanks, guys. We know that Dominique and Jordan scoring will probably be the big story of the night, but there's a lot more to these guys' games that could affect the outcome. With Wilkins, we've seen a new focus from him on improving his rebounding, and as always, Jordan's defense can be just as impactful as his offense.
Bro, cut it. Cut it out, bro.
Expectations are high for Jordan and Wilkins in this one. They're both exceptional scoring threats, and I know their teams are expecting each of them to be the difference makers out there as they try to get the W.
And out there for Atlanta, Spud Webb at the point with Doc Rivers at the 2. At the forward positions, Dominique Wilkins and Moses Malone. John Koncak will be at center. And starting things off for the Bulls, it's John Paxson at point guard with Michael Jordan also at the guard. Then Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant at the 3 and 4. The veteran, Bill Cartwright in the middle. You know, often, Clark, it's the team's respective leader who sets the tone for their whole squad.
You are correct, partner. So if Jordan or Wilkins can manage to get off to a hot start, that could spread to the other guys and get their whole team rolling early.
That's a good point. And here are the Bulls now, stolen by Rivers. Wilkins with it. He's picked up by Pippen. And the rejection by Pippen.
Pippen putting in the work to get there for the denial. That was really a nice hustle play.
Count it. The #1 objective, Clark, of this Bulls defense has to be limiting Dominique Wilkins' looks. They've got to contain that incredible scoring of his.
Kevin, you're all over it. Right on point. I mean, if Chicago can't disrupt his usual scoring, then they're in for a long night and some real trouble. You know, there's so much that's amazing to me about Jordan, but his endurance stands out. He consistently gets stronger, it seems, as the game goes on.
Now here's Wilkins. It's the outside fadeaway. Wilkins and Jordan, a couple of talented one-on-one players who are both going to be seeking mismatches in this one.
And, you know, Kevin, if you're on either of these teams, you've got to be ready to come at Jordan and Wilkins defensively. Don't let them dictate things. Low-effort defense, not going to get it done because they'll take advantage of that fully.
Oof. Here's Wilkins after the made shot from Michael Jordan. Good ball movement here by the Hawks. Pass to Rivers. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Pippen, and the rejection by Pippen. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And so Grant will bring it up for Chicago. Jordan kicks to Grant.
In old Modern
Back
Warfare,
to Jordan.
In Warzone, that bitch was 3 hits. 3 hits, and you will kill a nigga. Take all 3 vests and kill him.
Back to Grant. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Jordan outside. That 3 off the mark. You know, Clark, in some ways, this game could come down to either Jordan's or Wilkins. And who scores the most? Outperforming the other could seal the game for their team.
And, Kevin, that's exactly what we'll be keeping a close eye on.
Oh, Clark!
Oh, my goodness! Are you kidding me?
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. And now for a little background on this superstar matchup, here's David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Now, Jordan and Dominique have met up in the slam dunk contest twice, each winning once. It was just last year that Jordan won over Dominique in one of the most talked about and controversial dunk contests ever. I know fans are hoping we'll see the tie-breaking contest between the two someday. Maybe they'll settle for tonight's game. Back to you.
David, I can see it in my mind's eye. Those two going at it. Clark, no question. They're 2 of the most skilled dunkers in today's game.
Air Jordan lifting off, and the Hawks could do nothing about it.
The Hawks trail by 4. Oh, and they need a basket in the worst way.
I think they're forcing things right now, and it's why their offense looks so pedestrian.
Here's Wilkins trying to end the drought. Sweet move. No good on the layup. Some fresh competition, Clark, for the Bulls and Hawks in the league this year, with 2 expansion teams coming to the NBA in Orlando and Minnesota.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, these teams are focused on the game at hand. That's pretty obvious, but this is a very interesting time for the NBA. A lot of new talent and the new landscape.
A lot of growing indeed.
Once Jordan gets inside with the Rockets, practically all over. He's that consistent at close range.
And Wilkins with the stuff.
Boy, nice setup with the pass, and Wilkins bounces up knowing just what to do with it.
Here's Jordan. The shot comes out. Malone with some nice D.
Come on.
And so it's Rivers with it. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. Trailing by 4. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3. Here's Jordan. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Michael Jordan using that strength of his to get into the defense to draw the foul on the way up.
Atlanta making a switch here. Willis is checked in.
Making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe. He's going to cash in more than not.
To the paint. Here's Malone. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
You know, he's such a load to deal with inside because Malone's intensity and relentlessness down there makes defenses almost have to foul.
Clark, I know the Bulls are hoping for big things this year after making it all the way to the conference finals a season ago.
You know, I think Chicago proving they can handle teams like these Hawks could be a really good sign for them as they look to become a more dominant and consistent force in this league.
Hard not to respect how tough Jordan is inside. Really good at angling his body to pick up a foul call.
Bulls shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. So for the Hawks.
Let me make sure. That's 2 on you.
Carr comes in for Malone. And Livingston subbed in for Dominique Wilkins. Smith outside. And the pass to Rivers. Willis with it. Fades. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Jordan the pass to Paxson. Jordan is doubled. That ball is good for another field goal. His 6th. He is 6 for 9 on the stat sheet.
They don't hesitate when they get their opportunity to punch it inside.
Pass to Rivers. Here's Willis. He's covered by Grant. Feeds away. It's all in by the Bulls. Cartwright's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Credit to these Hawks, Clark, for having finishing with force.
Shook that building all the way up. Jordan giving these Chicago fans what they want with authority.
The Hawks trail by 10. Atlanta calls timeout. Well, these timeouts so big for these players to collect themselves. Drink some Gatorade. Hydrate. Get that little bit of rest.
It's so important to have the energy in the 4th quarter. And that starts with timeouts like this. Making sure you get your fluids because you know you'll lose pounds of water weight during the game.
1:24 left here in the opening quarter. Passes to Carr. Shoots over Grant. Here's Willis. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket.
Boy, T-Rex they call him, Kevin Willis, devouring those second chance points.
Pippen kicks to Jordan. And he gets it back. Driving to the basket. You've got to appreciate a dunk like that. Even if you're wearing an Atlanta jersey. My goodness. There's 45 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Willis the pass to Smith. Rebound by the Bulls. Cartwright's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And 3 from Jordan. He makes his 9th shot of the game. He has only missed 4.
Jordan letting the Hawks know his range is legit. He doesn't always have to penetrate. He can knock down the jumper, too.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Smith. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
You know, I think the effort on defense there has everything to do with why he missed that shot. Well done.
Great positioning on the putback. And the Bulls lead by 15.
You know, Pippen is about 6'8", but he's got the wingspan of a condor, using that reach to corral that rebound.
Smith fires from way outside. And the last shot of the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Bulls lead by 15. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment.
4 points the next 3 quarters. We will. I think.
Welcome back, everyone, to Chicago as the second quarter gets underway. It's been an exciting game so far between the hometown Chicago Bulls and the visiting Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks trail by 15.
For the Bulls, they've got a new coach at the helm this season. With Phil Jackson, this is his first stint as a head coach here in the NBA.
They've got Grant. Jordan is out there with Paxson. Then it's Pippen, and it's Cartwright in at the 5, down low. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Shot clock at 2, and Wilkins gets it to go.
No hesitation from Wilkins. The edge he brings on offense is really what makes him lethal.
Jackson, of course, a former player, a former assistant under Doug Collins in Chicago. And Clark, I hear he's got some interesting ideas when it comes to on-court strategy.
Well, Kevin, you know, he's certainly got some good pieces to test those ideas out with. There's no denying that. But what I think matters most is that the guys seem to relate to him and like him. Chemistry between players and head coaches is critical.
Well, you know, you played a long time, and you know how important that connection can be.
That's a very key deal.
You know, looking back at the opening quarter, Clark, Jordan managed to stay ahead of Wilkins in points scored.
Yeah, really good start for him, Kevin, in that regard, but can he keep doing that the entire game?
Right. Pass to Malone. And good coming off the assist by Spud Webb.
Malone owns the paint area of the floor. Nobody coming in there messing with him.
Jordan passes to Paxson. And again, Chicago turns it
Paxson,
over.
bro, what are you doing?
And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Throws it up high. Got a piece of it. And here's the fast break. Got it. Good job in the low post. And the Bulls lead by 14.
Yeah, Pippen, a fantastic defender and knows when to pounce on passing lanes to come up with the steals. Watch out.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Webb the pass to Rivers. It's Wilkins on the wing. 5 on the clock. Here's Webb. A three-pointer, no good.
Great shooters rarely miss open looks like that.
Jordan kicks to Pippen. And the Bulls, another 3.
The Hawks and the Bulls, when you look at the measurables of teams and players, pretty standard for the league, with explosively athletic backcourts and then quite a bit of size down low, too.
It's Wilkins on the wing. Wilkins draws the double. Now the pass to Rivers. Here's Willis. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It goes on Horace Grant.
A vocal presence both on the floor and in the locker room. Willis is somebody his teammates really respects.
For Atlanta, they have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. Both good from the line that time. Clark, we were talking about size. Both of these teams start a 7-footer at center.
Yeah, you know, Koncak and Cartwright are very imposing at that position, Kevin. And then you get Grant and Malone are paired evenly at 6'10", so hey, there's no way this game is not going to be physical in the paint.
It'll be a battle for sure. Malone against Cartwright. Malone passes to Rivers. Wilkins draws the double. Atlanta needs to get off a shot here. It's good. Rivers has got his second basket of the night.
Very comfortable and confident from this range. Doc Rivers connected.
So far, Michael Jordan has been getting just about everything he wants on the offensive end.
And that's not unexpected, but, you know, that doesn't bode well.
They lying like a mother. Hold on, let me see that, because they lying, bro. They ain't try to give Dominique Wilkins that foul. That's crazy. Okay, he did reach in. He did.
The Hawks says Wilkins has been unable to answer Jordan with shots of his own, which I think says a lot about the job the Chicago defense is doing.
I agree.
Well, you got to appreciate how consistent these Atlanta Hawks have been. I mean, season to season, even while going through some roster shakeups, they've been steady.
Koncak's checked in for Atlanta. Tony comes in for Spud Webb. The Bulls leading by 17. Here's Jordan. Tries again. Pippen. He dishes it to Jordan. They shoot again. Indeed, Pippen drops it in. Pippen's got 9.
Boy, Pippen showing you some passing right there with that nice finish.
Now a timeout called by Atlanta. Clark, as we know, last year the Hawks were able to hit 50 wins for the 4th consecutive season.
And, Kevin, I think that speaks obviously the product on the floor, but the quality of their organization, too. I mean, these are players and coaches who just know how to win games.
Antoine Carr, he's checked in for Moses Malone. Carr with the ball, now defended by Grant. Carr, the pass to Tony. Now here's Rivers. Now Wilkins. Back to Rivers. 5 to shoot. Over Cartwright. Atlanta again missing.
The defense made an impact right there. Definitely got him uncomfortable going up with it.
Let's go to David Aldridge, who has some inside info on the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, Kevin, when you talk to the coaching staff and you say, what's the key to success against the Hawks, they have a one-word answer. Michael. They expect big numbers from Jordan, probably exceeding his average of 35 points from last season. Back to you, Kevin.
Well, that's good stuff there, David. Sometimes, Clark, the answer is that simple, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have to complicate it, especially when you're talking about Jordan, because he does make it really simple. Although he's not a one-man show, his whole team is going to have to still step up.
And they take pride in that, don't they? Helping this very special talent do what they've got to do.
Yeah, they're pros, and they get their checks twice a month, too.
Michael's game goes to an even higher level when Atlanta enters this building. It's a rivalry that Jordan welcomes each and every time. Rivers looking over the floor. Pass to Tony. Wilkins in the post. Guarded by Jordan. And they get it. Wilkins passes to Carr. Lays it up and banks it in.
It all started with the pass. That's what coaches love to see, ball movement.
Oh, Jordan. Oh, wow.
And the high-flying antics of Jordan, simply awesome.
1:16 left to play here in the second quarter. Passes it to Carr. Back to Tony. The Hawks working the ball around. Pass to Conca. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And the 7-footer contact is a load to deal with, especially when he's trying to score.
The Hawks shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. He hits the second from the line. And so it's Pippen with it. He brings it up for Chicago. And they double up Jordan. The shot's good from Paxson.
Yeah, and Jordan sees the floor so nicely. I mean, one of his guys has a clean look. He gets the ball to him in whip-like fashion.
Pippen against Rivers. Now, here's Wilkins. Defense is right there, and it's good for 2.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
Here's Jordan, and it's Jordan with the jam.
Jordan's got a lot of flash to his game. A terrific guard, loves getting tricky with his ball handling and creating shots for himself.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. To the middle. Wilkins, the pass to Carr. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It goes on Horace Grant. First trip to the line for him here. That's good from Carr. Livingston's checked in for Atlanta. Smith comes in for Rivers. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. The Bulls leading by 22. Jordan with it. He's got 39. And then slammed in by Jordan.
He is certainly a dominant player. Michael Jordan, when he's in the zone, unstoppable.
And here's Smith. Launches it. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's the Chicago Bulls finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. So welcome back, everyone, to the third quarter of this contest between the Bulls and the Hawks, where Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins have been going at it.
And as this second half gets underway, the defensive ability of the Hawks and Bulls only become more important. You got to limit your opponents down the stretch, and both of these teams have the ability to do that.
On the court for Atlanta, we've got Rivers. Dominique Wilkins out there at Malone. Then there's Webb. And it's Koncak in at the center, filling out the middle.
It does not get much easier than that, but somehow he came up empty there.
Cartwright. And it's sent back by Wilkins. Now, here is Webb. Offensive rebound. And Malone with the stuff.
Oh, his length, his persistence, his size. Moses was custom made to own the glass. Great offensive play right there.
Whoa, Michael Jordan shaking the backboard.
Pretty artful dribbling display by Jordan there, and it completely baffled the defender.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Now Webb. Back to Wilkins. Shot clock at 6. Here's Koncak. Defended by Pippen. Here's Malone. Down it goes!
Take that rack down!
What a slam! We're going over the numbers from the first half. Clark, Jordan was able to top Wilkins in scoring in the first and second quarters combined.
A critical advantage partner that he worked really hard to get. Not all of his hoops were easy ones.
Right, you're right on that. Here's Webb. Rivers passes to Malone. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Known as being a top-tier rebounder, Malone is a commanding presence on both ends and a very valuable part of this team.
And both free throws good for Malone. The Bulls leading by 22. Jordan passes to Cartwright. And it's Malone with the rebound. Malone's got 4 rebounds in this game. In the corner, Wilkins with it. Back to Rivers. To the inside. Takes a shot at the elbow. And the basket by Webb.
You know, if Webb finds an opening in the mid-range, he'll take it. The defense has got to keep him marked at all times.
Inside. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Rivers can't get it to go.
When you think about Michael Jordan, you think about scoring, putting the ball in the basket. But he does a lot of other stuff out there as well, like moving the ball effectively, looking to stretch this lead out even further, going right after his shot.
Webb against Paxson. The pass to Rivers. Steps back and fires. And Wilkins gets it to go on the assist by Rivers. And now that's 11 points for Dominique Wilkins. You know, we touched on it. Last year, Michael Jordan Clark was actually 8th in the league in total assists. He was a top 10 assist player.
It's not something that comes to mind when you think about him, but it's very impressive nonetheless, Kevin. Shows you what kind of leader he is. He knows he's got to get his teammates involved and work well with them for his team to be its best.
Yeah, he's a terrific facilitator.
No doubt.
Atlanta making a switch here. Willis is checked in. Here's Webb. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Webb's got his second bucket of the night. For 3, Paxson. And it's Malone with the rebound. The Hawks trail by 19. There's the double team with Grant. Fade away. Again, the Hawks score.
These Hawks have a trusted and capable leader steering the ship, and that's Coach Mike Fratello. He won Coach of the Year for his work with this team in the '86 season.
And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. And we have to take another glance at that powerful rejection
Boy, and that'll give them a nice injection. Nothing like a rejection to get a team fired up.
Here's Jordan. And he drops it in from the low post. Jordan's got 49 points in the game. Yeah, an experienced coach who knows his team inside and out. That's Mike Fratello. Clark, do you think that gives the Hawks an advantage?
I think it could, Kevin. I mean, Coach Fratello will have an easier time seeing what his team needs out there and will know what adjustments best suit this squad.
Offensive rebound. Wilkins kicks to Webb. Pass to Malone. The shot, no good. And it's Chicago the other way. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Tipped away. Stolen by Rivers. As we get deeper into this game, Clark, it has been all Jordan offensively, as we can see, leaving Dominique well behind him.
You know, I didn't think it would be this one-sided. I mean, Jordan has just been operating at a totally different level. And Dominique has not managed to match that intensity or production.
You're so right. Wilkins passes to Willis. And it's Willis finishing it off.
Turning up the intensity dial here, trying to rally his team right now.
You're right. That jam might be just what they need.
And Jordan is simply amazing at finishing through contact. Doesn't matter what you throw at him or who, he finds a way to score.
Passes it to Malone. 1:30 left to play in the third. Good for his sixth make in a dozen attempts, shooting 50% with that basket. Here's Jordan. Rebound, Atlanta.
When you do moves like that and you miss, you know you're going to hear it from your coaches and your teammates.
Rivers kicks to Webb. Screen by Malone. Webb the pass to Wilkins. Back to Webb. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Willis with a screen on Cartwright. Webb. On the 3 off target. Chicago leading by 15. Grant outside. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. So for the Hawks, Livingston's checked in for Malone. Tony comes in for Rivers. And Smith subbed in for Webb. So it's the Hawks now.
Kenny Smith.
Smith feeling it out a bit. 35 seconds left to play here in the third. And Wilkins with the stuff.
Woohoo! Wilkins silencing the Chicago crowd with a thunderous jam.
And here's Jordan outside. Second chance shot. Cartwright with a screen on Wilkins. And a wide open look for Jordan. And another miss by Chicago. Smith against Paxson. Smith the pass to Willis. Here's the 3. That is good. And the Bulls lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Smith.
Really hard not to see the open teammate right there. Good find by Willis.
And so it's Michael Jordan making things happen for Chicago. He's looking.
63.
Welcome back, everyone. We get into the fourth quarter of this thrilling game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. And this crowd is feeling it.
As this game wears on, you have to be so conscious of Michael Jordan. I mean, he's got something of a reputation for being a closer, and that's an understatement. He finds a way to push himself beyond his limits to come up with clutch points when his team needs it most.
Pippen is out there with Grant. Then there's Cartwright, and it's Michael Jordan, and it's Paxson in at the 1. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Keep doing work inside. Close range looks like that will keep your lead safe. Stay on the attack.
Wilkins surveying the defense. Kicks to Smith. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Carr. Again, the Hawks score. Knowing that Michael Jordan likes to explode down the home stretch offensively, Clark, think the Hawks might increase the defensive pressure on him.
You know, it wouldn't shock me, Kevin, if they did just that. Just make sure somehow, some way, you don't allow him to put together a run.
And there it is for him.
Unrelenting on the boards. Cartwright using that strength and size to get those second shot points.
Smith, the pass to Carr. Wilkins against Paxson. Here's Carr. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 3 assists now in this one. Looking back at the third quarter, Clark Jordan had the lead over Wilkins for points scored in that period.
And Kevin, that could bode very well for MJ. Maybe some momentum coming into the fourth quarter where he has to continue to outduel Wilkins. Providing exactly what the team needs from him, Grant uses his reach to reel in that offensive rebound and make sure they convert.
Wilkins kicks to Tony. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And Wilkins with the stuff.
Like clockwork, extremely efficient, textbook alley-oop play right there.
Yeah, you know this, Clark. It takes a lot of athleticism to pull it off like that.
Show you're right.
Up top, Tony. Defended by Pippen. Here's Carr, and the lead is down inside single digits.
You have to love the unselfishness on display there. Excellent passing.
Grant sets a screen for Jordan. Offline with his 3.
You know, he's just chucking it up from distance this quarter. If you're going to do this, especially in the second half, you got to make it.
At home when that bitch get on the movie site.
Smith, the pass to Wilkins.
No movies for 3 hours.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it.
You know, something I like about both of these teams, the Bulls and the Hawks, is the experience they have, the range of experience. I mean, you've got younger guys like John Koncak and Horace Grant, and then you've got the seasoned veterans like Moses and Bill Cartwright. It's a really good balance.
Fades and shoots, and the shot is long.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
Clark, I've always wondered how valuable you think it is for younger players to get a chance to play alongside more experienced players.
Kevin, I think it's crucial and absolutely vital. Older guys have a way of being able to teach a young star so much about patience and which battles you fight and which ones you let go and how you carry yourself as a pro and all of the nuances of playing in the NBA. Good veterans can help young players set the tone for the rest of their career.
Oh, that's a great answer. And that one is good.
You know, with all the other things Pippen does so well, sometimes I think we forget how good a passer he is.
Paxson against Webb. Here's Wilkins. The rebound by Cartwright. Cartwright's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Third personal foul.
He's off on the first. Koncak's checked in for the Hawks.
At the line for your Bulls.
And he sinks the second. The Hawks trail by 13. They need to find a high percentage shot, Clark, to regain some of that confidence.
I think they've gone too long without seeing one go down, and that begins to mess with your psyche.
Webb against Paxson. Just 4 to shoot. Puts it up from 17. Tips it up. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Excellent awareness of where to be on the offensive boards. He did it with great position.
Here's Jordan. Wilkins grabs the miss. They get a hand on it. And so it's Wilkins who brings up the ball for the Atlanta Hawks. 11-point game. To the wing right side.
Bulls foul. Bill Cartwright. Second personal foul. First team foul.
Wilkins draws the double.
Stop fouling him, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
Third personal foul. Second team.
That's almost over. Stop fouling this man, bro.
Webb the pass to Wilkins. Oh, and the top.
He just dunked on me.
by Wilkins.
Hey, this is a signature move for Dominique, a trademark of his game. Rocking it off the floor and banging that thing down.
Like, what the fuck are y'all doing, bro? Come on.
Chicago leading by 9.
I'm about to be holding this bitch for most of the damn clock.
Jordan
now.
with it. From deep, Grant on the follow. And the Bulls lead by 11.
Excellent timing, outstanding positioning.
You're right. Right on cue to tip in that shot. And he protects the play well. It's Wilkins on the wing. And here is Webb. There's the double team with Pippen. Pass to Wilkins. Just 5 on the clock. Good ball movement here by the Hawks. Rivers finds Malone. And that one hits back iron. Jordan looking it over. Grant with a screen on Webb. Outside, Jordan lets it go with a 3. Rebound, Atlanta. Malone's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Here's Wilkins. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Pippen.
Dominique Wilkins unafraid to put his body on the line, going right into that interior defense and getting himself fouled in the act.
1:10 left here in the fourth quarter. Now, here's Jordan. Five to shoot. 7-foot shot, and no good. Trying to use the glass. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Lets it go from the wing. Webb can't hit. Oh, Clark, they've just about closed the door on this one.
All they've got to do now is squeeze the orange and milk that clock.
Jordan outside. Three-pointer. Atlanta with the rebound. Now Rivers from deep three-point range, and that's collected by Grant.
He's just trying to shoot that bitch from half court. Yeah.
Here's Jordan. And the Chicago Bulls, Clark, managed to pull out the win here tonight with Michael Jordan delivering a terrific performance to overcome Wilkins and these Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, Kevin, able to beat Dominique's offensive talents once again. Always special, though, to watch these two go at it head-to-head.
That boy had 19. He just tried to shoot a half-court shot damn near. If he would have made it, I'd have quit. I'd have got off. I'm like, you know what? The Bulls versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, 1990. It says score 69 points, shoot 50% or better from the field, and win the game. Who was that? Dunleavy? So I done completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them so far. I'm gonna chill. That one just did enough for me.